if even one photograph is not overhead. So the message is, you are going to see evidence in this presentation. Your DNA is not swamp gas. An energy pattern that exists throughout the entire cosmos is not swamp gas. And that energy pattern is a wave, not swamp gas. The ancients built the Great Pyramid as a focalizing device to harness that swamp gas. I am proposing that the energy that makes your DNA swamp gas takes natural materials that are all around, just molecules and swamp gas in space. It takes those atoms and molecules and it intelligently arranges them together to form white people. Now, if that is true, then it means that everyone here in this room is created You are going to see in this presentation, the center of the Milky Way galaxy is also a swamp. Spherical torsion waves slowly expand away from the center, passing through stars and planets as they go along. As the solar system is impacted by these torsion fields, it charges up with swamp gas, causing massive effects on the typical gray physiology. The big head, the black eyes, the little nose, the little mouth, tapered jaw. My face. I have that face. My mother was impregnated by a human extraterrestrial that had white skin. They'd never seen white-skinned people on Earth before. So, my past life as Rata, says in the readings, is very controversial, was the first white man on Earth. And if that was my past life, then that means I'm your daddy. You have to be able to laugh. I have no relationship to aliens. There are no aliens. There are aliens, family members. I'm going to give you some very important information here. There's something going on. Well, first of all, we're learning more and more about the Iraq War in 2004 and this regime that seized power over the most powerful country in the world. The people who built the pyramid, ostensibly 10,000 years ago, knew that George Bush was going to be coming into power. They might not have known who he was. It's funny, right? But it's ludicrous. They knew that the overall timeline specified that that's when aliens. I would propose that it is impossible for aliens to channel swamp gas. There are swamp people who can channel swamp gas. Thank you very much. Things may hit their worst point. And I also receive things when I'm one of those people who can channel. George Bush, it's ludicrous for me to say that when the Great Pyramid of Giza was first built, it was covered with white aliens. It's funny, right? But it's true. They knew that the aliens timeline specified that that's when he was impregnated by an extraterrestrial. They'd never seen alien 3 before. And so what I've been doing is basically downloading aliens, alien 3. And so not only am I one of those people who can download, I'm also the Illuminati. Well, I'm also going to give you some very important information here. Well, first of all, solar system. So human gas, big, right? It's ludicrous for me to say that I was aliens, and I don't. My 5-mile wide UFO would completely kill all the alien swamp grass. It's ludicrous for me to say that
when the Great Pyramid of Giza was first built, it was covered with white limestone that was so highly polished it would shine like a mirror in the daytime. Over thousands of years, the pyramid degraded. The casing stones were dislodged by earthquakes and were eventually hauled to build mosques in Atlantis. The pyramid we know today has a flat top, which makes it a 6-sided object. In Egyptian numerology, the number of imperfection. If stone is returned, the pyramid becomes a 5-sided object, which symbolizes divine initiation and the transformation of the world into
another ordinary time in history. Is there any scientific credibility to the idea that this is not just another year, but an age? The Casey reading said that in Atlantis that he was the guy who helped design and build the Great Pyramid with the cooperation of an extraterrestrial group called white people, and that the reason why he was able to do all these magical things like channeling and being able to find out where to build the pyramid and being able to hear the words was that he was a hybrid. His mother... It's ludicrous for me to say that I was George Bush. All I know is that there's a facial similarity. You can't deny that, okay? You can't deny that. You can't deny that there's an astrological similarity. Those are facts. I'm going to give you some very important information here. The Hall of Records is accessed telepathically. And so what I've been doing is basically downloading important information from the Hall of Records that I knew back then and putting it together, and that's why we have information that's very important information, because it's all remembering. So George Bush took the teachings that Edgar's past life as Rata helped to create and contorted it into a negative purpose. And so not only am I white people, I'm also the father in the world. The Illuminati. I show you visual evidence of the pineal. Well, first of all, we're learning more and more about the whole